Hey, this is Jamal Abbott here to show you how to add users to your 8x8 phone system. This is super easy and we're just going to jump right in. So we're going to move over to users from the 8x8 configuration manager and take a look at the existing users in the system. So as you can see, it's just me and we need to add a couple users. First user that we're going to add, but before we do that, we're going to go here to this upper right hand corner and create user. First user we're going to add is Bobby Smith. So with this screen, really basic. If you filled out anything online ever, it's pretty straightforward. It's going to ask you for some information. Now for the email for Bobby, I have not given him an email yet. I promised I would, but just haven't done it yet. So he's going to use mine for the time being. This username is completely customizable, so I decided to give him bobby.smith@thePhoneGuy.com just to keep it simple for him. This site right here, so we have the Las Vegas site. This is the only site that's in this system. Now, if I had more than one site, maybe a site for Reno, maybe a site for Carson City, maybe a site for Henderson, or anywhere else, that would pop up as a drop-down option here. Language is English. We have the time zone. This little checkbox basically tells this user is going to be found in the company directory. And if we don't want him in there, we can turn that off. The contact directory scope, we can have this filtered by company, by site, or PBX. We're just going to leave this at company for now, but just know that you can have it to where certain contacts can see only certain people within the same company. For the job title, this is our sales manager in the sales department. And the personal contact number for Bobby, this is independent of his 8x8 phone number, which we will assign to him. We have this section for services and permissions. This is where we assign the license for the user. We're going to give Bobby an X2 license. Now, once we did that, you notice that this popped up here on the left hand side, as well as some additional options here. So basic voice, or voice basic settings, as we have here. This is where we actually set up the phone number and the actual phone that Bobby's going to be using. If I click this drop down box, we have these choice numbers. I'm just going to give him this first number here on the list ending in 1010. And the extension number, this is completely customizable. You can leave it as 1000, but just to make it easy for myself, I'm going to leave this as the last 4 digits of his phone number. Device model. Now, this is interesting here because if we choose nothing or choose the none option, that this would assign a soft phone to Bobby. But what I want to do is assign this Polycom VVX401 phone. So this is a physical phone that is going to be assigned to Bobby. And then once we do that, we have a couple more options that appear. And this one is very, very interesting, is this activate device by. If you are familiar with any type of phone system administration, especially in the voice over IP world, you know that you need a MAC address to get these phones on the network. So you can do that. I'm not going to take that option away from you. If you want to put your hands on it, look at the MAC address on the back of the phone or underneath the phone. You can plug in that 12-character code in this system. If you don't want to do that and want to be a little bit more involved in something else and less hands-on on this part of the process, good news for you. You can actually have an activation code sent from the 8x8 phone system over to the end user itself. So we're going to leave that checked here because I don't want to touch that phone once I do this initial setup here. Preferred codec. Now, this becomes available once we select the phone for Bobby. Now, if I didn't choose a phone and I just left this as a soft phone completely, we would only have the one option to choose from. And codecs are just the way the phone call sounds to the end user. So this is the highest quality here with G.722. And then we have some other options for the phone itself. So just understand that you have some options when it comes to the codecs. Hot desking. This is another interesting option. This allows users to log in and out of their phones. So you may want to do this or you may not want to do this. This all depends on how your environment's set up. Maybe there might be a situation where Bobby's actually sharing this phone with maybe 2 or 3 other users. We want to enable this option here, which gives him the ability to log out at the end of his shift and have somebody else come in, log in, and have their phone settings appear on this phone. And all these other options are customizable. We won't do that here for this demonstration. So we're just going to go ahead and click save. And once we click save, there's going to be an email that's sent to Bobby with instructions on how to set up his phone. We'll take a look at that here in just a little bit. And what we're going to do here next is we're going to set up the next phone for Nikki Jones. So I'm back here at the user screen. We're going to go ahead and create another user and get Nikki in the system. Nikki's going to use my email. And we're going to customize Nikki's username. Nikki.Jones at thephoneguy.com. Nikki is our marketing manager. Personal contact number for Nikki. And we're going to give Nikki an X8 license. We're going to select this number for 1585, and we're going to change the extension to reflect 1585. Like I said, just to make this easy. Now here, we're just going to use the none for the device model, which would automatically give Nikki a soft phone. One thing to mention here too, if you choose a phone, you still have the option of the soft phone, but for this user in particular, she has no physical desk phone, so she's going to be using the app either on her computer or on her smartphone, and that's how she's going to log in and access the 8x8 phone system. And we're going to go ahead and save these changes. So now the system's going to send her an email, and we're going to go ahead and check that out and then see what those instructions are all about. Okay, so we have the first email. This is the email for Bobby, and he's getting this nice email saying that he's been added to the virtual office system. And here's basic information. This is Bobby's username that's going to give him access to the system, and he has the option of setting up a password here. He's also directed to download the virtual office mobile app for the iPhone or for the Android, as well as the virtual office desktop app. So he has 2 options here available to him to use his number on the go or on another device away from his phone. And then remember, we set him up with a Polycom BVX 401. Here's the information to activate his phone. And then for the extension information, this is his direct inward dial or DID number assigned to his phone, so he can get phone calls from outside of the office. But if anybody wants to reach him internally in the office, they can reach him here at extension 1010. And then here's some other tutorials on how he can get started here. So this is pretty slick. This automatically comes to the users once they have their phone added and set up to the system. So this is a nice change for any of the people or organizations that are used to the traditional phone systems where they don't get this nice welcome package for setting up their phones. And we're taking a look at Nikki's email. Pretty much the same information. We did customize the username, and she does have access to the same applications. I just wanted to show you here that the VoIP device activation, there's nothing that she needs to activate because she has a virtual office soft phone. So she's going to be using this on her phone, smartphone that is, or on her computer, and she'll get logged in and then have access to the virtual office system. So here's her phone information here, and now she's connected and ready to go. So that's how you add users to the virtual office phone system. If you have any questions, let me know. Give me your thoughts, give me your feedback. If there's anything else that you want to see, hit me up. This is Jamal Abbott, and I'll talk to you soon.